Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Wherever you're joining us around the world, a very warm welcome from Milan. Just 3 weeks after we were last here, it is time to do it all over again. There is the venue, the famous Allianz Cloud Arena, and already the crowds are filling up here. Plenty to come here on Before the Bell. Chris Lloyd and Darren Barker with you as always. Two fights before we kick off the main event on Dazn. Daniele, Reggi and Luca Barbessi will do battle and super middleweight division first up in just a moment's time. Then Josh Nmomah, who was on the bill 3 weeks ago, is in action against Gabor Gorbics. This is the first fight of the night. Daniele, Reggi and Luca Barbessi over 4 rounds at super middleweight. Reggi making his debut and done a few tickets as well. Both fighters ready to make their way to the ring, so we'll hand you over without further ado to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. David Diamante.
Hi. Signore e signore, buonasera e benvenuti a Milano, Italia, per una meravigliosa serata di pugilato. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Milan, Italy. We are live on Dazn for a big night of boxing action. We begin tonight with a full round affair in the super middleweight division. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome Luca Barbessi.
In Milan tonight, Daniele Scardina, top of the bill. We finish with the super middleweight division and we start here as well. Luca Barbessi from fair Verona, making his way to the ring. He's 0-3, a fledgling circuit fighter. So you see the crowds already starting to fill up here at the Allianz Cloud.
And now, entering the arena, please welcome Daniele Reggi.
Well, what a start and what a reception on his debut for Daniele Reggi. Been around the amateurs for a while, nice smooth boxer. And Darren, you were telling me just now, you heard he's done around 200 tickets.
200 tickets. I mean, what a great scenario to be making your pro debut on. Your adoring fans in your home city. Perfect.
And then you get to see what the top 2 guys in your country have got in the 168 division later on tonight.
Signore e signore, buonasera e buongiorno. Welcome to Milano, Italia, per una meravigliosa serata di pugilato. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome once again to Milan, Italy. We are here at the Allianz Cloud. We are live on Dazn for a big night of boxing action. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Terki's OPI since '82. We're sponsored by Incentivi Italia, Leone, and JD Sports. All of tonight's bouts are sanctioned under the auspices of the Federazione Pugilistica Italiano. The supervisor is Mr. Alessandro Lelli. Introducing your 2 judges scoring this contest from ringside, all from Italy. Giovanni Fiorentino and Eros Rozza. And at the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, also from Italy, scoring referee Giovanni Poggi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the gold trim. He scaled 75.8 kilos. Professional record, no wins, 3 defeats. Fighting out of Verona, Italia, Luca Barbessi. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the red corner. He wears the solid black trunks. He scaled 75.3 kilos. Tonight, he makes his much anticipated professional debut. Fighting out of Milano, Italia, Daniele Reggi.
Gentlemen, listen to me. Remember what I told you in the dressing room. No rabbit punch, watch your head, stop break, step back. Touch your gloves and good luck.
Well, Daniele Reggi looks wired and fired up for his debut in his home city of Milan. Very rare that you get crowds this size for young debutants, especially this portion of the bill.
Sorry, I'm nudging you there, Chris. I'll save a few.
You did. A few asking for receipts, I'm sure. But he's made a quick start here. Reggi at centering.
Well, you can see how he's setting out to approach this fight on the front foot, letting the big shots go. You know, you usually see this from debutants, eager to impress their crowds. Good body shot there with the left hand from Reggi. Really, really fired up.
Making Barbessi work with him. And he's been stopped in his last two. Luca Barbessi in 3 and then in 4. His last out in February. Reggi will know if he can really stick it on his man, there is a chance of an early breakthrough. And he's letting the hands go. He looked tenser and wired and fired up before the first bell went. No surprise at all with the crowd that have come to see him. He's letting the hands go as he is.
Yeah, really, really forcing himself onto Barbessi, who keeps throwing back himself. Good work.
Finished on the uppercut, 3-punch combination, and they just close up. First frantic minute of his debut.
As the seconds go past, Reggi will start to settle down a little bit. You can see he's so eager to impress, but he's leaving himself open at times. He's shown good variation now, he's mixing it up. That's a good body shot, left hand hurting, Chris.
Barbessi winced there, and he's buckling at the waist, and there's a long time in the round, still over a minute to go here.
Just smothering his work, Reggi in the corner.
So eager to prove a point to the crowd, he's repping away, but Barbessi hung on, just managed to get himself back to centering. Can he give himself the space and time to see out the round here?
He's neglecting the body, Reggi. That's the shot that hurt Barbessi in the first place. He's head-hunting at the minute. There's a good left to the body, but credit to Barbessi. He's fighting back, he's giving it everything. Good work.
Well, what a whirlwind round on his debut. But a man in black fires the right hand through again.
Passo indietro, senza colpire. Step back. Okay.
Again, smothering his work. Reggi just needs to take that step back, get at arm's length. He's the bigger puncher out of the two. Oh, good left uppercut from Barbessi.
As game as he has been in his other contests, but when he lets the hands go, that's when he's been vulnerable. Just ties his man up again. Well, both will be tired. There's a lot of punches he's been thrown in his first, well, just as we approach the 3-minute mark of this first round. There it is. Wow, what an opening round here in Milan. And what a first round debut. For that man on your screen, Daniele Reggi. I'm going to fight them all like that. We'll have to settle down and he'll look back on this and know that. But, wow, it's exciting, wasn't it?
Well, look, you only get one debut, and he sold the 200 tickets, plus tickets. So he's desperate to impress his home fans. And
pressure as well, isn't there?
Lots of pressure. I mean, look, there was a lot of good work there, but I think he's just got to settle down slightly, allow the space to get the shots off. The body shot, you can see Barbessi wincing there. He certainly felt that one. Credit to him, he stayed on his feet and fired back himself. But there was a lovely, well-executed left to the body on that floating rib. Beautiful shot, but it was just Reggi closing the gap, just too eager to get the finish.
Still wide-eyed. Reggi still wants to come and start the second round as he finished the first, firing all guns blazing. Barbessi wants to stand and trade with him. Really good action. Just what you want from a debut opponent as well. Somebody that's going to take a bit, give a bit too, and he certainly is.
Yeah, he's in there to win, Barbessi. There's no doubt about that. He's not in there to survive. He's mixing fire with fire. It's just the strength, that more physical presence from Reggi is the difference at the minute. I guess the best shot selection as well, but massive respect to Barbessi. A lot of good work on the ropes.
Well, just a slip as he stepped in there. The shot did land at the same time. You could see his feet went just before the shot landed. The referee spotted that too, so on we go. And another down under the elbow. It was what hurt him in the first round. And Barbessi just gritted his teeth there. So close to going down, but he hung on. He's giving himself just another moment to try and recover. He's got that right elbow pinned down by his side, but he's hurt here. And Daniele Reggi knows it too. Minute 50 on the clock.
Oh, big right.
Can he find one more left under the elbow? A brilliant response from Barbessi to smother, spoil and hold and try and fire back when he can. Didn't take the knee there, which would have been the easy option. He's chosen the path of most resistance, and Daniele Reggi starting to breathe a little heavier now too.
Yeah, Barbessi's certainly feeling the pace. Those body shots have taken the wind out of the sails. You're getting pushed back now, but back comes Barbessi. He's showing so much courage and bravery. Just loading up with everything, Reggi. Just needs to take the sting out of the shots, vary the pace and the power. Another left to the body.
Barbessi is having to go tight guard when the debutant lets his hands go, but the moment he stops, he just tries to jump on him and maximise the moments where he wants to rest. Oh, another stinging left under the elbow. That's hurt him. He looks like he may not recover from this one. 40 on the clock. Can Reggi find a follow-up here again? Just smothering his work, Darren.
Yeah, just getting far too close. That's just that over-eagerness to get the finish. But every time he's landed that left to the body, he's hurt Barbessi.
Oh, it's only scheduled for 4 rounds, but it will feel like a long way to go for Barbessi, who takes a knee. 3 stinging body shots over these first 2 rounds have sunk in. He's dug in, but he had to go down there. And he has given himself a minute to recover, and he's going to need it as well.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy walking back to the blue corner there. He was certainly hurt numerous times. That left to the body. Yeah, I'll be very surprised if this goes the distance. You see again the work. That was good work there. That was well executed. The right uppercut first, setting the trap, getting the hands up, and he dropped the left to the body. And this has been the problem, just smothering his work afterwards. You see that just round the elbow, the arm of Barbessi.
Just missed the right hand follow-up as well on the way down, and
showed lots of courage and bravery, Barbessi, but every time he is caught with that left to the body, I mean, they don't even look that big, some of the shots. I don't know if he's come into this fight with an injury, but certainly been troubled time and time again with that shot.
So he's had the breakthrough on his debut. Can he get the job done? He's eager, he's a little raw and ready. But Barbessi, what a response at the start of round number 3. Did not expect that. And well, that's been the pattern of his resilience through these first 2 rounds so far. And he is showing the man in front of him, I'm not going to go quietly here. And fair play to him.
He might have just emptied the tank there.
I think he may have. I think that may have been the last stand as Reggi now pushes him back, just trying to give himself space. The left hand under the elbow again, and down goes Barbessi for the second time. Inside 3 rounds, he looks to his corner. He's badly hurt here, and he hasn't got the time to recover as he did at the end of round 2. It is all over. What a start to the professional career of Milan's Daniele Reggi in front of 200 here in his home city. Well, he came out of the traps, and credit to the man in front of him. He met fire with fire, but he was outgunned.
Well, that was an entertaining opener,
wasn't it?
Really.
So it's nice, sometimes nice to ease yourself into the evening, not tonight.
Exactly. Look, sometimes I kind of expect that when I see a debutant on the card, you know, especially one, like I said, has sold as many tickets as Reggi. They're just so excited to get underway and entertain their crowd and get their pro careers off. And he done just that. I mean, there's lots and lots and lots to learn for this man. I mean, but he's really gamey. He's a winner for sure, as Barbessi is as well. Look, he gave everything. That's where he emptied the tank.
Well, you know his corner would have said to him, you've got one more round here. Show us what you've got. And fair play, gave it absolutely everything. It was those left hands under the elbow that were the hurtful shot. He found it in the first round, and well, he found it 3 or 4 times, and every time, Darren, it was hurting.
Yeah, that left to the body was certainly the shot that unravelled Barbessi. And look, he's going to be in some very exciting fights, Reggi. He's all action. He comes fighting on the front foot, trying to land big shots. But I think if you're in the corner of Reggi, you want him to learn, get behind the jab. You can't fight that all the time because you'll have a very, very short career. So lots to learn, but a very, very exciting fight nonetheless.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Giovanni Poggi calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 50 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by TKO, Daniele Reggi.
High-paced, high-octane, in front of a terrific crowd in his home city. Daniele Reggi gets a win in the 3rd round on his pro debut, and credit to the man in front of him, Luca Barbessi, because he fired back with everything he had, but it wasn't enough here tonight. And well, whatever happens in this man's pro career, wherever his trajectory takes him, he will always remember this night tonight.
Oh, he'd be absolutely over the moon with that. He'd be thrilled with his performance, the way he wins. I mean, look, everyone on their debut wants to get the stoppage, and he done just that. There's lots to learn, but yeah, his fans will go home very, very happy.
Well, an exciting fighter. We'll have some potentially big nights ahead with him, as we will with the man who is headlining in Bilbao next weekend, the return of Kerman Leharaga. So Kerman Leharaga, it's going to be a terrific fight with JJ Metcalf next weekend in Bilbao. Coming up next, got plenty to look forward to on Before the Bell. Young Joshua Nmomah in against Gabor Gorbics, 8-rounder at middleweight. Before we head to the main card on Dazn around the world, starting on the hour, and fighters are standing by backstage. So let's hand you back over to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go with our next contest. 8 rounds in the middleweight division. Set to make his ring walk. Please welcome the Squirrel, Gabor Gorbics.
My name is Gabor.
Well, Gorbics is a name that will be familiar to fight fans. He's been around for 10 years now as a pro. Shared the ring with some very good fighters. Only really been the heavy-handed, decent fighters in and around world level who have stopped him over the years. And he can punch a bit himself. 26 wins, 26 defeats, 16 of his victories have come by way of knockout. And against some of the best coming prospects in Britain over the last few years as well. Hassan and Dan Jikam, he took the distance.
And now entering the arena, here is the undefeated Joshua Nmomah.
Well, the Nmomah brothers, Joshua and Samuel, were both in action 3 weeks ago when we were over in Italy. Nigerian-born brothers who made their way over to Italy when they were youngsters and have taken up boxing as a means of living. Both pretty good too, Darren. Shape up well, good balance, shot selection. Now you just want to start seeing a little bit more in terms of these guys going through the gears as they progress up through the levels as
That's
well.
all it is for me, Chris, honestly. Very, very pleasing styles on the eye. Box really, really well behind the jab. Great distance control. It's just that pace I want to see a bit more of.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Milan, Italy, live on Dazn, we are set to go with a special middleweight attraction. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Kerkis OPI since '82. We're sponsored by Incentive Italia, Leone, and JD Sports. Introducing your two judges scoring this contest from ringside, both from Italy, Giovanni Fiorentino and Eros Rozza. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, also from Italy, scoring referee Giovanni Poggi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the red and white. He scaled 73.2 kilos. His professional record, 26 victories, 26 defeats, 2 draws, and 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Budapest, Hungary, please welcome the Squirrel, Gabor Gorbics. Gorbics. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the white trunks with the gold trim. He scaled 75.4 kilos. His professional record, a perfect one. 11 fights, 11 victories, 3 of them coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Novara, Piemonte, Italia. Here is Joshua Nmomah. Nmomah.
Italiano, English, okay. Ok. Buonasera maestro, buonasera Nmomah. Joshua. Okay. Gentlemen, no rabbit punch, watch your red, stop break, step back. Touch your gloves and good luck. At the corner, please.
Well, how fresh is he feeling after victory over Nika Vajava over 3 weeks ago? It was a fairly routine victory, Darren, not the kind of fight that would have taken much out of Nmomah. Gorbics, a little sturdier though. You have to go some to get him out of there. As I mentioned, he has shared the ring with some of the best around over the last few years, and only really the heavy-handed fighters, guys on paper that you know can really punch, have managed to put a dent in him and get him out of there inside the distance.
Yeah, and one of those being Liam Williams. I see that he stopped Gorbics in 8 rounds, and he worked really, really hard, taking Gorbics out of his comfort zone, worked the body really well. So I look at this fight and I think, and as good as Nmomah is, I don't know if he has the tempo to stop Gorbics, but Going back to Joshua Nmomah, very good fight. See how well he controls the distance. He's always at arm's length. He's always thinking. He's a very intelligent fighter. Just want to see him go through the gears a bit more. But look, he's still learning, still progressing. And I think in some ways, if I am felt like there should be more, it's only because I really rate him as a fighter. You see now, he's always thinking, a lovely jab. You see the reflexes there, getting out of range.
You just feel that both the brothers are capable of a little bit more. Almost look at times as if they're boxing well within themselves, and it will be good at some point to see them step up and put under some pressure, and how they respond in those moments. Gorbics, as you mentioned, been with some of the best. Spike O'Sullivan as well, Sam and Dan, Kieran Conway more recently. Anthony Fowler did stop him in 5, and again had to really dig him around to get him out of there. And Fowler was a big 154 Fowler is an understatement. Liam Williams too, as you mentioned. Yellow Usanov, Kevin Laharab, of course, who is in action in Bilbao next weekend, stopped him in 5 too. He knows how to handle himself.
He does, and what I've noticed with Gorbics, he's very fit, though you probably wouldn't think it. He can move like this all night long, so you need to put him under real pressure to try and get him to wilt and fold. But you see the speed there, the counter punching from Nmomah, very, very good. See the variations as well. Jab to the head, right hand to the body, mixes it up so well. And I look at him as a fighter, and I think he would be the only way that you could beat him, or one of the ways that you could beat him, was outworking him, being busier than him. If he was able to match you for tempo, he's a very, very hard fighter to beat.
At the moment, just calmly stalking. Gorbic just turns the knuckle over on that right hand. The bulk of the impact just taken on the gloves.
Lovely sharp jab, so accurate as well. Nmomah gets caught with a left hook there from Gorbics.
Levatevi parabene. Respira. Josh. Cosa? Cos'è?
Muovi di gambe.
Sì. Ma che muove, Gio? Ma che muove le gambe. Che non...
Plenty of action to look forward to on the main show, coming up in just over 45 minutes. We kick things off. Really good European title fight. Neri Romero, who dispatched of Amy Timlin in her first European challenge, then against Maria Cecchi, who we got a first look at live last time against Beck Conley at the back end of last year. Very impressive young southpaw. She's going to have to go on to become European champion. That's the chief support tonight for Giovanni De Carolis. Challenges Daniele Scardina. De Carolis dredge up one last big performance. Will the night belong to the man they call King Toretto? That's all coming up here in Milan live on Dazn. If you just joined us, you're listening to Chris Lloyd here with Darren Barker. Welcome, as always, ahead of a good night of boxing here in Italy. Joshua Nmomah just takes a right hand to the body from Gorbics, who just steps around outside the outside of the ring.
Yeah, controlling this. Nmomah, he's got Gorbics exactly where he wants to be, though in the fights I have seen of Gorbics, he does like to rotate. It's a lovely 1-2, straight down the middle. I think going back to that Liam Williams fight, I think the way he approached it, working the body, tried to slow Gorbics down, and he did just that. By the 8th round, he was gone. I think we've seen how good of a body puncher Joshua Nmomah is, so I expect to see some more body shots as these rounds go by. Cut that ring down, try and pin Gorbics onto the ropes, into the corner, then let his hands go. Good right hand over the lazy jab of Gorbics.
Yeah, well, he just looked for a left hook catch counter, which missed moments before, landed with the right hand, then just follows up with a raking right hand just under the left elbow. Gorbics felt that.
This is good from Nmomah. He's educated pressure. Not exactly going through the gears like I was asking for, but there's more pressure on the front foot now, making Gorbics move a lot more.
Oh, right-hand counter down the middle, just sticks the tongue out at Gorbics, who just overcommitted and came and looked square. Missed with his own right hand, and Nmomah was sharp on that pull counter.
Yeah, you see that one coming from Gorbics, loading up with the right hand. Obviously, the rear hand has further to travel, and when you're in there with someone as quick, not just with their hand, with their feet, like Nmomah is, you will get countered. So he's got to be careful of that Gorbics, but that was beautiful boxing.
Made him wary now of jumping in as he did there, because he was caught straight down the middle, and that will cause some tentativity, a bit of hesitation. Again, Nmomah just steps in behind the jab, just lets him out the side door that time. A couple of meaningful right hands have connected in this second round, and Joshua Nmomah, as we expected, in full control through two. History of really good fighters from Nigeria, emigrated and furthered their boxing careers. Dick Tiger, of course, one of the best fighters in the continent's history, went stateside after a period in Liverpool. Ike Abuchi, likewise, had that standout win over David Tua. Henry Akinwande, who was born in London to Nigerian parents. Ronzo Berardi and Ovidio Nash are going to kick us off on Dazn in just under 45 minutes' time. Berardi, a six-time German and one-time European champion as a youth. Maxim Prodan in action tonight as well. Lots to look forward to, all coming up on the main show, on the hour. Just Nmomah here, just starting to crank things up as lands another right under the elbow. Gorbics just on the move again.
Yeah, at the start of this third round, he started to go through the gears a little bit. The three-punch combination there was good work. Follows it up and another three shots. Looking a bit more spiteful here. Not as much coming back from Gorbics now. Every time he throws, he's countered with sharp combinations. Throws a right hand, then nearly gets caught with a left hook.
Yeah, tried to punch through and didn't even. He knows he's just well undersized in the contest as well. Just tries to step in, take his head off the line behind that jab, because he knows the right hand is coming on a hair trigger.
I'd like to see Nmomah throw the uppercut a little bit more. Try and draw Gorbics in and throw that right uppercut. It's definitely a good shot to throw against the shorter man who comes in over that front foot.
Yeah, just look for a little guard pull down there as well with the lead hand. Gorbics kept the hands high and solid though.
Be interesting to see Nmomah in there with someone that has a high tempo, a high work rate. See how he would deal with that kind of pressure. Would he mix fire with fire? Would he get on his bike?
Good counter puncher, natural counter puncher, you'd say. Sometimes almost to the point of being slightly too patient. If someone was giving him opportunities, letting the hands go, you feel like it would bring something a little more out of him. So within his comfort zone at this point. Just caught with a little short right there, but just fires back in combinations.
Step back.
Looking for the catch and counter left at Gorbics, reasonably tight defensively and a small target to aim for as well. Nmomah just trying to work his way in behind his feints with the left hand. Gorbics again just pinned into the next corner, trying to feint his way out, find an exit left and right, just keep Nmomah off balance. But he's getting a little closer now.
Yeah, he just does not stop moving, Gorbics. See why he's only been stopped 7 times out of the 26 losses. Very, very fit, knows how to survive. And like you said, Chris, only the best have stopped him.
atención. Independe. Non lo posso perdersi.
Deep breaths from Gorbics, who knows the danger that lies in over-committing, stepping in straight lines. Has been countered a couple of times on a sharp left catch, left hook, and then the right hand that landed a few minutes ago. He's well in control.
I think if gears went in halves, that would sort of sum up how he slowly goes through the gears, you know, bit by bit. But that was better from Nmomah, picking the shots really well. Like you say, very, very comfortable in control of the space, the distance. Got Gorbics exactly where he wants him. Just like to see a bit more variation. He's definitely got it in his locker. Just set up that right uppercut, follow it up with the left hook, then drop to the body. You see there how quickly he gets out of range with those feet. Beautiful jab, the 1-2. This is probably not a bad tactic here. Try and draw Gorbics in. We've seen already when he throws his shots, he falls over the front foot, so he is wide open. But when he's moving, he's very difficult to pin down, as you see here. Moves away from the corners. Very crafty, very experienced fighter.
Just trying to manufacture openings, just mix the variation of the pace of the shots up, just tapping lightly with that jab, looking for the big right hand round the side of the guard, looking for those guard pull downs all the while, just arcs the right hand round the side that time.
And Gorbics knows that, and it's almost his opportunity to catch a breather. You know, he's always threatening to throw that right hand, and that sort of stops Nmomah from throwing the shots and really committing. So that's showing the experience again from Gorbics.
Again, Gorbics just keeping that right hand tight for the catch left return. He's showing, as you say, the experience. A little bit of blood, just a nick above the left eye. One of the right hands that just arced around the side of the glove. We may have a look at that in between rounds. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't look like he's troubling him at all at this point. Stiff jab.
Again, you see Nmomah just slightly cranking it up again, ever so slightly. More pressure on the front foot, making Gorbics move, trying to tire the older man out. Oh, it's a lovely left to the body. Picked that really well.
Occasionally something comes back from Gorbics, and Nmomah staying switched on, just taking the feet back with him, stepping out of range and straight back on him. Just caught a little short right hand there.
It looked like his legs went for a second there.
Wow, suddenly Gabor Gorbics is in the fight. 20 seconds to go, round number 4, and is Nmomah just a little bit buzzed there.
I'm sure I see the legs stiffen ever so slightly.
Blinking with the eyes as well.
I was just about to say, unless something unbelievable happens, I think we need to see Nmomah step it up now. And then in comes the big right hand from Gorbics.
The last thing that we were expecting, probably the last thing he was expecting, was a little short chopping counter right hand, but his body language says that he felt it.
Well, he said it at the top, Chris. I mean, he can punch at 16 KOs on his 26 wins, so obviously does carry a bit of power, loads up with the shots when he lets them go. He doesn't sort of poke them out, and when he throws them, especially that right hand, he puts everything into it. And let's have a look now.
Well, that was Nmomah, I think, just after it landed, stepping off and just tucking up.
Yeah, Gorbics knew, didn't he, that he'd buzzed him slightly. Just wasn't quick enough to land the big shots.
Okay.
Let's see how Gorbics approaches the start of this round.
Yeah, will he take a few risks here? just a little moment, just a little glimmer of hope for the man in the away corner.
That can happen, Chris, you know, when you're having things your own way and you're in cruise control. You can get a bit complacent and you can switch off, and as we know in boxing, it only takes a split second and your career can be turned upside down. So it's another lesson from Nmomah as he progresses in his career to understand that you've got to be on it every second of every round. He looks switched on, he looks focused now at the start of this 5th round.
It does change that posture from kind of traditional guard to a little bit Philly shell, with that left hand across the body and the right hand a little low. With that left hand low, as he does step in, just sometimes if you don't time the shoulder roll, the chin isn't tucked down, you can be vulnerable when stepping into range like that. It's a fine art. He's keeping it a little tighter now. Nmomah just touching the guard with the jab just to occupy the hands of Gorbics, trying to give himself space to work. He's just been a little hesitant in this round, Nmomah.
Yeah, he has. Certainly when he's got Gorbics backed into the corner on the ropes, that's when you want to let your hands go. You've done the hard work closing the ring down, so let the shots go, and he's a little wary.
Problem with being a circuit fighter, Darren, I'm sure you've spoken to many in Gorbics' position. Sometimes you can get an opening, but of course you know your role and your reputation is to come and take these fighters through a good workout. Really, the role isn't to win, and if you do cause an upset of a touted prospect, sometimes you don't get asked back. And this is your weekly bread and butter. For Gorbics, though, it's a big moment for him. Just wonder whether his ambition is such that, well, do I really want to go and upset the odds and potentially take food off my table for these next few weeks? You just don't know what's going through his head. But he's a little busted up now. That nick above the left eye seems to have just slowed the bleeding, but there is now blood coming from the nose of the Hungarian, and a solid right hand just comes around the side of the guard, then one straight down the middle from Nmomah, just starting to take back the control that he had throughout the first 4 rounds of this contest before he was clipped. And Gorbics just trying to fire back with him.
Yeah, you can see the blood coming from the nose of Gorbics, and it's coming from the jab of Nmomah. Very accurate, like I say, with that shot, as he does again there. Once again in cruise control.
C'hai l'opportunità, avevi l'opportunità, John. Hai fatto 5 round di merda, non pensare. John, questo qui che gira, tu che non riesci a chiuderlo. Oh, gira. John, gira. Di qua, di là. Felütt és próbáljunk meg eladni a véletlenül úgy van. Jó?
Egy kis baki eljött víz.
Okay.
Are you good? Very good. Okay. Joshua, tutto bene? Tutto bene.
So into the 6th round of 8. The second and final contest on before the bell here in Milan, before we kick off proceedings in half an hour's time live on Dazn around the world. Daniele Scardina and Giovanni De Carolis will be battling the 168-pound division. Maria Cecchi will challenge Mary Romero for her European title. In our chief support, Maxim Prodan on the bill too. All to come. Double jab right hand, rips the left to the body, just starting to put a little bit more spice on these shots now. Every time Gorbics just steps off, finds the exit, just forcing the home fighter to reset. Nmomah just calmly stalking, just working behind that jab. Good balance on all the straight shots too. Never falls over that front foot.
Yeah, very centered. Like you say, never falls over the front foot. well-schooled fighter. Lovely left to the body there.
Nice. Body language says he thinks he hurt Gorbics with that. Just sped the feet up, followed him around with it. Just works the other side of the body that time. Right hand down the middle is Gorbics. Just a little bit trouble here. Hungarian just trying to fire back with the jab.
He did catch Nmomah with a right hand as well. Didn't seem to trouble Nmomah. That was better pressure. Didn't let his hands go enough. Start to see him. He's got a beautiful jab, Joshua Nmomah. Just throw it more often. You know, if you're not going to be busy with your combination punching, be busy with the jab. Nice, right to the body. Right under the elbow of Gorbics. He took it well.
With the right hand down the middle as well. The Hungarian just backed into the corner. 40 seconds to go in round number 6. Misses with the right hand, just fell over the front foot. Nmomah not able to take advantage that time. Just waiting for his moment, Nmomah, and Gorbics now starting to look busted up. There's possibly a cut over the other eye. There's certainly blood around it.
Yeah, the face a mess now. Swelling under the right eye, busted nose, that nick over the left.
Gorbics just tried to punch with him. Two-punch combination comes off the glove, but the right hand got through there. Gorbics looked for the return, and he sees 6 through. He's looking tired, looking weary. The face is busted up, and in contrast, that man, Joshua Nmomah, looking picture of composure.
I mean, how good does Nmomah look when he puts those vicious combinations together? He looks spiteful, he looks aggressive, sharp, but I don't know what's going on here, Chris, in the corner of Gorbics, as we see the replay here. There's a lot of talk going on.
Well, he really started to, as you say, sit down on the shots, put more meat behind the punches. The right hand, I think, in this combination, got through the middle. The mouth's really starting to appear under the right eye. Right, there's been a lot of discussion in that corner. Not sure what it's in relation to. Gorbics says he's okay to carry on, so into the 7th we go. Just sense it. Just get those feelings, don't you, that if Nmomah really put his foot down here, he can get the stoppage. Stiff jab. And that right eye really starting to swell up, and the referee will have to have a look at that. And these singles are audibly louder than they were in the first 5 or 6 rounds. Nmomah really trying to put a dent in the man in front of him.
He's going to stop him. He's got to do it now. He's got to go through the gears. He's got to put his foot on the gas. Gorbics is struggling. You can see the face. He's breathing heavy. A lot of conversation in the corner.
He's using all his experience to try and mask the fact that he is struggling, but we watch enough of this stuff from up close. You know when you know, and he is really having to dig in here. Just tries to fire a right hand on the elbow. There's nothing in the shots now, really, and maybe the wind has been taken out of his sails. Some really well-placed shots under the elbows these last 2 or 3 rounds, and hurtful shots down the middle too from Nmomah. He's been arcing the right hand as well, which has caused the cut over the left eye. Little catch and counter left hooks, which may have caused the cut over the right eye as well, and the mouse that's underneath it too. And Gorbics did find something that just momentarily shook Nmomah up 3 or 4 rounds ago. Just the sense that he is out of ideas and out of gas here, and that moment isn't going to come again. It is boxing, of course, anything can happen, but it doesn't look likely to at this stage of the contest. It is Nmomah's to do what he wishes.
Yeah, Gorbics has slowed down now when he had that success with that shot earlier. As we see, a beautiful jab again from Nmomah. Yeah, he's certainly slowed down. He's in survival mode now, and this is where you want to see Joshua Nmomah really go through the gears. Let his shots go. It is good educated pressure on the front foot. Just want to to see a bit more. Good left hook as Gorbics retreats.
Yeah, he had the right hand up, but I think that snuck through, you know. He's once again backed into the corner, 40 seconds in the penultimate round, and Nmomah lets the hands go. Gorbics finds the exit, but not for long, finds himself boxed into the corner, just fights his way out, gives himself a valuable bit of breathing space and time. Really having to work hard here, Gorbics, but Nmomah not pressing him maybe as much as he needs to really test where he is in terms of his gas tank and his resilience. Nice combination there. It's a couple to the front of the guard, look for the heavy ones behind. And under the elbows, and Gorbics does see out the 7th round. He is absolutely exhausted, Darren.
Yeah, he's certainly earned his money. He's tried, he's moved, but complete survival mode now. You see the face of Gorbics there as he screams something. I think he's asking for that final bell. It's been a good performance from Nmomah. The only thing lacking is the tempo again. I don't want to sound like a broken record all the time, but as well as talking about a fighter's positives, their strengths, I've also got to pick up on their weaknesses, and his weakness is certainly pace and tempo, but awful lot to like with Joshua and Nmomah. There really is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So 8th and final round here. Our final contest on before the bell, before we head to the main card live on Dazn. At the top of the hour, just over 20 minutes from now.
Just had a glimpse, Chris, sorry, of Daniele Scardina.
Oh, I wasn't sure who it was. I saw a hooded figure and you nudged me, but yeah. He'll be in action a little later on tonight. Can Giovanni the CAROLIS dredge something up? The really good fights with Vincent Feigenbutz, Tyron Zoiga. A little bit past his prime years now, but he was back to winning ways. 2 wins on the spin after that comprehensive defeat to Lerone Richards last year. Scardina will be there to be hit in ways that Richards wasn't, but Scardina is also more likely to put a dent in him in a way that Richards wasn't either. No doubt the Brit will be watching tonight to scout some future competition, as Nmomah just putting the hands together with just over 1:30 on the clock in the final round. Gorbics again just doubles the jab up, right hand to the body behind it, and has to tuck up for the return. He's done really well to get through these last couple of rounds.
He has. Been a lot of pressure from Nmomah for a lovely right uppercut left hook combination from the centre of the ring. Again, not troubling Gorbics. He's putting some miles over these 8 rounds, that's for sure.
He's been out several times this year already, fighting fit. Knows how to take care of himself, and he's done very well to negotiate some difficult moments over these last couple of rounds in particular, after having a decent moment in the middle round himself. Nmomah just perhaps let him off the hook in these last 6 minutes. He's got 40 seconds to really try and put a dent in him and get a stoppage. Jab through the middle. Gorbics just stuck in the corner, but again just lets him out the side door a little too often perhaps. Nmomah, his feet are pretty good when he's stalking. Mirrors the footwork of Gorbics, cuts the ring off well, makes the space small, but after a rally just tends to let him out left. Gives him that space to move, and there it is again.
This is good work from Joshua and Nmomah, emptying the tank in this last round, putting them together, and very pleasing on the eye when he does that.
Gorbics missing on the right hand, just keeps the hands high and tight. Nmomah puts them together one last time in the 8th. Gorbics raises his hand in I think probably pride that he's stuck out some difficult rounds in the second half of the contest. For Nmomah really in control for the whole contest, bar about 30 seconds towards the end of one of the middle rounds. But an interesting moment for him just to experience the first time he's experienced anything like that as a professional fighter, and it's important, isn't it? Yeah,
of course it is. I mean, it's another box ticked on the journey so far, the progression and the apprenticeship of Joshua Nmomah. Another good performance, showing he's a level above this caliber of opponent. So I think it's time now to step him up. I'd love to see him in there with a guy that's really going to come in and set the pace and try and win the contest. But I'm a big fan of Joshua Nmomah, I really am. I think when I look at him as a fighter, I think there's an awful lot to work with. I think maybe some top-class sparring around Europe, in the UK, even go to America, but Scardina has.
We're hearing rumours as well that Ivan Zuko, who we saw 3 weeks ago, may be heading over to work with somebody that you know very well.
Yeah, Tony Sims. I'm hearing he may be travelling over to do some sparring and work with Tony, and I think something similar for Joshua Nmomah would really improve his development and his progression as a fighter, because there is an awful lot to work with, Chris.
And I think there are enough UK trainers that would have a look at him and his brother and say, yeah, there's definitely, as you say, enough to work with here and an opportunity to do something with these boys if they've got the ambition, the work ethic and everything else. We'll see what the future holds for young Joshua Nmomah, who no doubt is on his way to a unanimous decision victory, but we will leave the official particulars to our MC, who is standing by with the scorecards. Let's head over to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing here in Milan, Italy, we go to the judges' score totals. They all read the same, 80-72. But your winner by unanimous decision, he's still undefeated, Joshua Nmomah.
So a gallant effort from Gabor Gorbics, but it was unanimous for Joshua Nmomah. And that moves him to 12-0 as a professional. As we draw to a close here on Before the Bell, his brother Samuel in the corner with him. Out 3 weeks ago as well, no doubt he'll be out in the coming months too. Moved over from West Africa to further their lives and their boxing careers, as did Joshua Buatsi when he was a boy. Culminated in a fabulous Olympic bronze medal in 2016. And next weekend in London, he faces the test of his career so far as a professional.
It's simple. May 21st. Let's have it.
I believe I'm number one. I'm ready to prove it. Let's go. It's not if, it's a win.
I win this fight, and I know I win this fight.
We're at the crossroads now, where they've been banging on about this guy for a while. With me, I've been delivering. Simple as.
I have a belief about myself, and that's what it is.
Your ego is your downfall.
I don't care, bro.
May 21st, we're gloving up.
It's one-on-one.
We're going to find out who the best is.
Wherever I have to be, I will be. In that ring, I find a way.
This is find a way. What do you mean?
Do you know what it means? Winning. Now let me handle that.
This is my city.
This is my division.
Time to show the real top boy is.
You already know.
#21st next weekend in London. Joshua Buatsi and Craig Richards. Buatsi, after dispatching of Richard Bolotniks, who was in such brilliant form in the Golden Contract in the months preceding, and Craig Richards, who boxed so brilliantly in defeat to Dimitri Bivol. A real pick and fight, bragging rights in South London next weekend, live on Dazn. But coming up here in Milan tonight, plenty of action to look forward to. That's what we've just had on Before the Bell. Daniele, Reggi, really good performance on his debut. It was a frantic 3 rounds, defeating Luca Barbessi by a stoppage in front of 200 that he brought here to kick things off. And Joshua Nmomah was comfortable in the end over Gabor, Gorbics winning over 8 rounds at middleweight. That was what has just been. This is what is to come. 4 fights on the main card starting in just over 15 minutes time. Alonso Berardi 3-0, looking to go 4-0 against Video. Inash, who's 6-9 from Campania. Maxim Prodan back in action after that defeat last year, first career defeat in against Luis Enrique Romero. Maria Cecchi challenging for the European Super Bantamweight title. Mary Romero, who was in brilliant form against Amy Timlin last time out, defending her title again. Could be fight of the night, that over 10 rounds for the European Super Bantamweight title. And the main event, as if you needed any reminding, Daniele Scardina back in action. This place will be absolutely packed to the rafters. Can Giovanni De Carolis dredge up one last big performance? He's going to need to. Scardina will go into this fight as a big favourite and looking to bolster his rankings at 168 with the IBF and the WBO. That is all to come here on Dazn, just a few moments' time, and there is Scardina, who, as you mentioned, Darren, just made an appearance in the arena to scout things out before he goes to work a little bit later on. The man they call King Toretto, back in front of his home crowd in Milan, headlining on Dazn tonight.
Please welcome Daniele King Toretto Scardina.
What a response. Scardina here looks to be getting stronger.
Absolutely good boxing from Scardina.
Adrenaline sensing that Scardina is getting on top at the end of this round. Solid jab. That's the difference in power.
And it's a really good finish from Scardina.